There's more to imagine when you listen. So let your imagination soar with Audible. Audible has audio titles from every genre that will inspire you to imagine new worlds, possibilities, and ways of thinking. As an Audible member, you get to choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog. Enjoy an exciting reawakening of a beloved classic with the Audible original, David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. Produced by Academy Award-winning director Sam Mendes. Starring Ncuti Gatwa, Helena Bonham Carter, and Theo James. This adaptation breathes new life into a familiar tale. New members can try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/imagine or text IMAGINE to 500-500. That's audible.com/imagine or text IMAGINE to 500-500.
Are you struggling to close deals? Cold outreach is wasting the time of both the buyer and seller at every stage, especially when sellers are using shallow and outdated data. Your organization can overcome these challenges with technology that translates comprehensive, high-quality buyer data into real-time insights. These deeper insights empower sales reps and teams to adopt the habits of top performers, which leads to better outcomes, like more pipeline, higher win rates, and larger deals. We call this deep sales. And we've built the first deep sales platform with the next generation of LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Right now, you can try LinkedIn Sales Navigator and get a 60-day free trial at linkedin.com/trial. That's linkedin.com/trial for a 60-day free trial. Let LinkedIn Sales Navigator help you sell like a superstar today. Just go to linkedin.com/trial and get started.
Welcome to How to Survive with Danielle and Kristine, the show that teaches you how to survive the things that can kill you.
Being electrocuted.
Oh.
Dolphin assaults.
Oh, no.
Gambling addiction.
Yes. And the things that just make you wish you were dead.
Spilling your popcorn because you're way too tall.
Yes.
Camel toe. How about missing your big shot with Scorsese?
God damn it. These all sound troubling.
I know. I don't want any of these things at all.
You know what can wipe them from your mind? Our theme song.
Play it.
Ground is shaking under our feet. Mountains on fire, flooding in the street. Can't breathe the air, can't fight the feeling. Gobbling down Xanax ain't the way to be dealing. Gotta do better than just getting high. We gotta stick together if we're gonna survive. Ooh, how to survive. Ooh, how to survive.
Christine.
Hey, Danielle.
Garen.
Hello.
How are you, Garen? Garen's going through a little physical pain.
I'm fine. I'm just a little tired.
You're just a little tired?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm all hopped up on Advil.
Yeah. We're trying to get him on harder drugs, but
I pushed it. I brought some in for him, but he's like, no.
I got a pharmacy in my trunk, Garen.
He's
I think I'm gonna go shopping.
you have a heartache.
I do have a heartache. Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a broken heart.
Yeah.
You guys, I mean, if you listen to Never Not Funny, you know I had pericarditis in the past, and it seems like it might be flaring up again, and it is not pleasant.
Did you have a stressful life event recently that could have flared it up?
My whole life is a stress ball.
You walked right into that.
I did,
no,
didn't I?
No, I don't think so.
But it's just...
It just hurts. That's
Yeah.
all. It just hurts.
I'm so sorry. Well, you know my recommendation, Law and Order.
Well,
You've been watching Rhoda.
I've been watching Rhoda.
Yeah.
That helps.
I got to let you know that every fucking season they retooled it. Like, it's fucking crazy.
Oh, Rhoda?
Yes.
Well, do you think it was the ratings weren't great, and so they were like, all right, we're going to try this?
Maybe, but it was on for 6 years, 5 or 6 years. So it couldn't have been that bad. But when I'm done watching the whole thing, I'm going to do a deep dive because I'm so like baffled about like cast changes and like it's just bizarre.
I think shows got a longer shot back then too.
Yeah, that's probably true.
You know,
they've already switched out Joe's like assistant lady. She's gone with
for
Rhoda's friend. Like between one episode and the next, she was there. I think.
Yeah.
Who else did they switch out? I think that's it. So
yeah,
far. I'm in season 2.
Okay,
like halfway through season 2.
It evolves. It's just.
I love it.
What? You were just about to put your glasses on and realized you didn't need them.
Reason.
How was your weekend? Did you do anything good?
Oh, what happened?
Or insane?
It was a lot of sporting events.
Soccer.
child sporting events, and that was fine. It was enjoyable enough. What else happened? Cooking with my children.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yes, we went to an Asian market, like an Asian grocery store inside of a weird mall. And
Is this the one in Glendale?
it is near Glendale. It's in Eagle Rock.
Yeah. It's a fish market. It's like an
Yes.
Asian fish market inside of a dead mall.
Yes.
An almost dead mall.
Yes.
Jimmy and I were there over the summer.
Okay. Yes. So you know about it.
Bizarre.
So that's where we went.
Okay.
We got, and of course, Benji was very excited because there's just fish on ice
Fish on ice.
all over the place.
Loves it.
From, fish you've never heard of. And one giant fish that had this big, weird, long tongue.
Ooh,
That was
tongue.
Yeah, giant tongued fish. And I was like, we're not going to get that one. So he's like, well, can I just pick one out? I just really want to cook a fish tonight. And I said, all right, fine. So he picked out this giant milk fish.
I'm throwing up already.
Right?
Those words should not go together.
No. And then he got to like pick it up with tongs and bag it and take it over to the people, and then they clean it for you.
Oh.
Supposedly they clean it, but then when we got it home,
Lots of bones.
he still had to pull all its guts out. But
That's not cleaning it then.
he was happy to do that.
Where do you? I'm just curious. Where do you put the guts?
Garbage.
Okay,
He wanted to feed them to our cat.
that's what I was wondering.
And I said, I don't think it's a good idea. We just
agreed.
don't know what's going to happen. So he baked the milkfish because it wouldn't fit. After he cut its head and tail off, he baked it in the oven.
Did he have to look up how to cook this specific fish?
Yes. Well, he didn't. He was like, I'll just do it. And I said, why don't we look it up?
Right.
And it was a lot of Indonesian recipes where you do it in these coconut broths with ginger and onions. And he was like, nope, no, Mom,
Okay.
just baking it.
You guys have the most fun.
I don't know. Do we?
Well, did anyone end up in the ER?
No.
Then yes.
We did not this weekend.
That's fantastic.
Surprisingly.
So check that one off your calendar.
no
that's-
urgent care visits.
That's great.
Yeah, I was pretty happy about that.
Well-
What about you? Were you in the urgent care this weekend?
No, we don't do anything. You can't get injured playing board. I mean, we probably could, but in general, you can't get injured playing board games.
But
so.
I do know your son broke his arm walking in a hallway.
Yeah,
and-
walking, right, walking to the bathroom, pausing
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, right.
So
That's why I said, yeah, if anyone could, we could.
danger lurks everywhere.
He is very spilly. He is constantly spilling stuff. And okay, so Saturday we went to Friday night they were playing To Live and Die in L.A., which is a William Friedkin movie at the Arrow.
I've never seen that.
I hadn't either, and neither had he. So we thought, oh, that'll be fun. It's part of Cinematheque. We'll go there. Immediately, so we got our popcorn, and we had to get out of the aisles were really tight, and he had to get out of the aisle to take off his sweatshirt.
Yeah.
And I said, watch out for my popcorn. Boom, knocks over my popcorn.
Yes.
Like, he's just like, well, I've never been this tall before. And like, none of this makes sense. None of your excuses.
In his defense, he has never been that
Right.
tall before.
I go, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, if anything, you should be able to, whatever.
I've never been this tall
I know,
before. It's
so
hilarious.
Stupid. Anyway, have you ever seen it? To Live and Die.
I have
To Live
not
and
seen
Die in
it.
Los
It's on my
Angeles?
list of things I need
Yeah,
to watch.
Who's in it?
It's ridiculous. William Peterson, Willem Dafoe,
Oh, young, I bet.
John Pankow.
Don't know who that is.
He was the cousin on Mad About You.
Still doesn't ring a bell.
Okay.
I mean,
You might
I
recognize
know
him.
the show, but I don't know the cousin.
Okay. And I can't remember if there's anyone well known. It is ridiculous.
Okay.
It is absolutely ridiculous. Like laugh out loud.
Yes, I recognize
She
him.
recognizes. Laugh out loud moments.
Okay.
That's not the Christopher Walken one. No, that's
They're supposed to be laugh out
No.
loud? Oh, it's like that kind of movie.
It's so dramatic. Like
Yeah.
William Peterson's character is just an asshole. Like a one. There is penis.
Oh,
Like
full
in
frontal?
shadow. But penis, yeah.
Okay.
Like you see something dangling. Like it's kind of crazy.
Yes.
See something
Shadow
dangling.
dangles.
Shadow dangles.
That's what they call it in the business.
Yeah, shadow dangles.
Shadow dangles.
Yeah. But there's a really good car chase. That's like the one thing I'll say about it. It's a really
Okay.
good car chase. That
sounds fun.
it was okay. It was fun. And then,
Except you didn't have popcorn.
well, no, I went and got it refilled.
Thank God.
I'm not an idiot. And I said to Oliver, I go, I threw you under the bus. And he was like, what do you mean? I go, I told them that my son spilled my popcorn.
Yes.
He's like, you did? I was like, yes, of course I did.
But you told them it's because he's never been this tall.
I said, well, he's really tall. He's 5'5". And so he cannot help
the tallest
himself.
he's ever been.
It's the tallest he's ever been. And hopefully not the tallest he'll ever be.
Oh, he's going to have a huge growth spurt.
He already has. So then yesterday, Adventures with Walter, I had to take my dad to...
Wish we had a theme song for that.
Yeah. I had to take my dad to the DMV because he had to take his written test.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So, first of all, he's telling me like, oh, this DMV is, it's really bad. It's, it's a mess. And I was like, that's literally every DMV.
I was like,
There's no
opposed to the other very well
between
organized.
any DMV.
Pleasant ones.
Right. So I take him in and we're waiting in line and he touches the security guard on the arm. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. I guess he was just trying to get her attention. Mm-hmm. And he touched her and she goes, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Whoa. Do not touch me.
3 times.
Yeah. And my dad's like,
well, your dad's threatening.
An 87-year-old man.
Yeah.
I mean, look, maybe she's touched a lot, so I get it.
Yeah.
But it was just a little dramatic.
Yeah.
He literally touched her shoulder.
Yeah.
It was a little dramatic. So he was like, kind of, oh, sorry. He didn't say sorry, but he was like,
yes,
like kind of like huddled. And I was like, he's sorry. And my dad's like, you don't have to say it 3 times. I'm like, oh God, all right. This is already starting.
I agree with him.
Yeah, it was a little much. So anyway, everyone else was actually really nice, which was shocking because that's not always the case at the DMV. Yeah. So we waited and we waited and waited, and he goes and he passes his test. Yay, fantastic.
Good job.
So we're leaving, and he's walking behind me, and he's all happy, because he passed the test. And I see him out of the corner of my eye, like pretend to touch the security guard. I just go, Dad. I was like, Jesus Christ. He's like, oh. I'm like, come on, man.
That's
just
really
get out
funny.
of here without another incident. Should we get into today's, or did you have more to share?
Oh, we can talk all day long, but I'm happy to get into today's topic.
I just put on my reading glasses, then tried to look at the clock. That doesn't work.
No.
Okay. Today we're going to learn how to survive a gambling addiction.
Oh, this feels relevant to Garen.
Yes.
I worry about him.
He is nothing if not a risk taker.
I could see if he went to Vegas just losing all his coin.
All right.
Oh, shit.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to copy and paste something for the notes, and I pasted instead of copied. And
shake your phone.
that makes me so angry.
Yeah, shake your phone.
Oh, yeah.
I learned that on Never Not Funny. I didn't know that was a thing.
I learned it from Garen, who told us that.
It's bananas. Okay. Is gambling addiction real? Gambling addiction, or gambling disorder, GD,
yes,
is a behavioral addiction that can lead to significant disruptions to daily life. Sharing similarities, such as signs, symptoms, and inheritability with substance use disorders, GD was recently redefined as a substance-related and addictive disorder in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, 5th edition.
So it counts.
Yeah. GD is a diagnosable condition that may lead to financial loss, bankruptcy, family conflict, and more.
I'll say.
Yes. Okay. Isn't problem gambling just a financial problem? No. Problem gambling is an emotional problem that has financial consequences. If you pay all the debts of a person affected by a problem gambling, let me read that again. If you pay all the debts of a person affected by problem gambling, the person still has a gambling problem or gambling disorder. The real issue is that they have an uncontrollable obsession with gambling.
Yeah, it's like the hoarding episode where if you go in and clean up their house...
Oh, did they just start over again?
That doesn't help them. It's not fixing the problem.
That's infuriating.
Right?
I have aftercare for probably 1 or 2 visits.
I mean...
On the TV shows?
Yeah.
Yeah, it might look good for... I mean...
For the text closing credits.
Yeah, and then it's all
aftercare.
messed up again. Because their problem is
psychological.
Deeper. Yes.
Yeah.
Like this. It's not like you can be like, well, I paid off your debts.
Yeah, it just seems with hoarding, you'd be like, but look at how much better and easier life is.
Yeah,
but I guess not.
That doesn't. They get comfort in all that stuff.
Right.
So,
all right. Behavioral addictions like GD are easily disregarded, says Danielle Hochman, MD, a board-certified psychiatrist in Austin, Texas, and founder of the online addiction recovery program Self Recovery. Because gambling has been fairly normalized, both socially and commercially, it's hard for people to identify when it has crossed the line of an addiction, he says. But gambling addictions can be devastating. The financial ruin and time lost can end marriages, lose trust in relationships, and lead to immense shame and self-hatred. Recent neuroimaging studies have shed light on important changes in brain activity for people with gambling addictions. For individuals with GD, the brain's reward pathways are activated when they engage in gambling activities, similar to how an individual with drug addiction might respond to stimuli. As a result of such changes in the brain, individuals facing a gambling addiction exhibit a pathological obsession and compulsion to gamble and can face tremendous difficulty stopping. Okay, who is at risk for problem gambling?
oh boy, I hope it's not me.
Anyone who gambles can develop problems.
Oh my God.
This is why it is. Are you hearing me? I feel like I'm not hearing myself that well. Yeah? Okay.
You sound great.
This is why it is important to be aware of the risks and to gamble in a responsible way if you choose to gamble. When gambling behavior interferes with finances, relationships, and the workplace, a serious problem already exists. Precipitating factors can lead to a change in behavior, such as retirement or job-related stress, meaning if you have those things like, oh, I've retired now, I have all this time in my hands, let's go gamble.
Yeah, seems like a good way to blow your retirement.
Yes.
And then be living in a tent.
Right. Can you have a gambling problem if you don't gamble every day? The frequency of a person's gambling does not determine whether or not they have a gambling problem. Even though a person may only go on periodic gambling binges, the emotional and financial consequences will still be evident in the individual's life, including the effects on the family. How can a person be addicted to something that isn't a substance, you might ask? Although no substance is ingested, someone with a gambling problem gets the same effect from gambling as one might get from taking a drug or drinking alcohol. But just as tolerance develops to drugs or alcohol, a person with gambling problems finds that it takes more and more of this gambling experience to achieve the same emotional effect as before. This creates an increased urge for the activity, and the person finds they have a less and less ability to resist as the craving grows in intensity and frequency. When Oliver and I went to that film noir festival in Palm Springs,
yes,
there was a movie called The Lady Gambles.
Ooh.
With
Barbara Stanwyck.
Yes.
I have good memory.
Your favorite
Sometimes
lady.
She's great. I love
And
her.
she just goes bananas.
She could not stop, could she?
She turns from a very well-respected lady into a lady who gambles.
They knew back then even what could happen.
Yeah, they did. Okay. Actually, they had a lot of like drinking movies and stuff.
Well, it was prohibition-y times, so they were like, it's a moral failing.
This is way after Prohibition.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Maybe not way after, but after. Like 10, 15 years after, probably.
Well,
I
then
think, the
I
40s?
have no point to make.
Well, there's The Day of Wine and Roses.
Didn't
right?
see it.
Well, I think that's with Jack Lemmon. And another one that I can't think. Oh, and there's The Man with the Golden Arm, which is Frank Sinatra, which is about heroin use, believe it or not. Yeah.
Didn't see it.
Yeah, it's a good one. All right. How widespread is problem gambling in the U.S.?
Yeah.
2 million U.S. adults are estimated to meet the criteria for severe gambling problems in a given year.
2 million?
That's a lot, right? Well, it says 1%.
Okay.
But still, that seems like a lot.
It does.
Another 4 to 6 million, 2 to 3%, would be considered to have a mild or moderate gambling problem.
What are you people doing
I know.
out there?
That is, they do not meet the full diagnostic criteria for gambling addiction, but meet one or more of the criteria and are experiencing problems due to their gambling behavior. Also the lost weekend. That's the other thing I was trying to come up with. Another thing about drinking. Research also indicates that most adults who choose to gamble are able to do it responsibly. Mm-hmm. So there. How do I know if I have a gambling problem? For many people, gambling can be a harmless social activity, but for individuals with an addiction, gambling may cause significant harm to their finances, family, and relationships. You may have a problem with gambling if you exhibit 4 of these signs within a 1-year
All right,
period.
everybody, if you're worried, get out your pen.
Get it, and a paper.
Paper.
Here we go.
1.
Thrill-seeking behavior, needing to continually up the stakes while gambling.
Oh, thrill-seeking.
irritability when attempting to control gambling.
I just need one more scratch off. Yeah. Go back in the car. That's you talking to your 2-year-old.
Yeah. Frequent failed attempts to control gambling. Obsessive thoughts about gambling. I gotta scratch.
Just let me scratch it.
Turning to gambling when upset. Lying to cover gambling habits. Choosing gambling over relationships or responsibilities. Making requests to family and friends for financial help. Period.
Those are big ones.
Yeah, I would say maybe one of, like, that last one, maybe you got a problem. As with any addiction, someone seriously addicted to gambling will likely continue on a downward spiral until they recognize the problem and seek help, says Elliot Blittenthal, a licensed clinical social worker in Queens, New York. Gambling addicts appear to have the same potential as other addicts to lose their wealth, job, families, and relationships. Expert tips on how to stop the urge to gamble. A gambling addiction can have devastating consequences if left untreated. In addition to incurring financial losses, straining relationships, and impacting job or school performances, GD may also cause significant harm to mental and physical health. This is due to the psychological effects that gambling addiction can cause, such as feelings of deep despair, hopelessness, helplessness, and shame. Noting that individuals with gambling addictions have high rates of suicidal ideation. It is important to address a gambling addiction as soon as possible. Here are 6 expert tips to help you address the gambling addiction. Recognize the problem.
Sure.
Sound familiar?
Yes.
Before you can begin your path to recovery, you first need to recognize that your gambling habits are the source of your distress. The first step to addressing a gambling addiction is an awareness of the problem and a desire to change.
Yeah, stop blaming your mom.
Yeah, dickhead. Stop saying the house has it against you.
Yes, exactly that too.
Yeah, or like that guy at the end, did something
He's
wrong
cheating.
in blackjack.
Yeah.
And so it screwed up the whole table, and now your life is ruined.
I just need one.
That guy's a cooler. Blah, blah, blah. That girl over there doesn't know the rules. She keeps counting on her fingers to figure out what 9, 7 equals.
That sounds like me.
Yeah, I was just for sure describing myself. Once you've acknowledged your gambling addiction, there are many roads to recovery, such as addiction counseling and 12-step programs. Remove the stigma. There's a significant social stigma associated with gambling addiction. There's a significant social stigma associated with gambling addiction that individuals with GD are often stereotyped as weak-willed, irresponsible, and culpable for their addiction. Internalizing these labels may lead to shame and low self-esteem, which in turn may hold people back from seeking the treatment they need. Chipping away the stigma isn't easy. The more gambling addicts share about themselves and their experiences, the more likely they are to influence and broaden others' understanding. That process creates change one person and community at a time. As destigmatized conversations about gambling addiction increase, stigma decreases reciprocally on both individual and societal levels. Confide in a loved one. Oh, you were going to say something.
Oh, I was just thinking the stigma, you could say, theoretically, I was taking that medication that gave me the urge to gamble.
Wait, what?
You know when they have those commercials for medication, it'll say
might increase your urge to gamble.
Increase the urge to gamble. Yeah. You could just say, I was on that medication.
Oh, you mean to remove the stigma?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's a really good idea.
It's not really my fault.
Yeah, so I guess there is really a connection. If certain drugs can make you...
If it can trigger a part of your brain...
that says, I need to
gamble. It's
so weird.
It's so specific.
It's so specific.
It's not like it gives you an urge to do anything addictive.
Right.
I need to keep skydiving, or I can't stop eating chocolate cake. It's not all of them.
It makes you want
one
to...
specific gambling one.
Place 50 on red.
Yeah. And they don't know why. They'll just be like, it happens. We don't know why.
Confide in a loved one. After you've acknowledged your problem gambling, you should confide in a friend or loved one. If you feel overwhelmed or otherwise unable to seek out professional help, ask your loved one if they can assist you in the process. Put it on them. Yeah. Make it their problem.
So I spent all our money, honey.
Look, the house is gone.
And also I need therapy for it that we now can't afford.
Yeah, that's a problem. Maybe you could just gamble for some therapy.
Yeah.
I'll put 50 down on an hour of psychotherapy.
Do they have a wheel of that in Vegas?
They should.
Right? A blackjack wheel of therapy?
Yeah. Sharing your condition and asking for help assessing the resources you need may assist you in your recovery. There is tremendous pain in not just having an addiction, but carrying the pain on your own. Of course, we're joking. Of course, you should get help and confide in a loved one. We're just being silly. Seek professional help. If you are having trouble controlling your gambling habits, it may be time to seek professional help. To find an addiction specialist near you, search online, contact your insurance provider, and reach out to the National Council on Problem Gambling for a local referral.
I'm sorry, but if I have to contact my insurance provider, I'm probably going to keep gambling.
Yeah.
If I got to call that 800 number on my insurance card and try to talk to somebody about coverage for my gambling issue.
Or flip side, just quit cold turkey. Like, it's not worth this.
No.
You know what? I'm just going to resist.
Yeah.
I cannot face my insurance company.
I'm going to have the delirium tremens.
The what?
That's like what people go through when they quit drinking alcohol. Oh, the delirium, the DTs.
Yeah.
I'm going to have the gambling DTs.
Oh, I didn't know that's what DT stood for. What does it stand for?
Delirium tremens.
Tremens.
I think.
I thought it was tremors.
Garen
but I didn't know what delirium. I didn't know delirium.
Garen can make sure I'm saying
that's
it right.
So funny. I don't think I ever even questioned what DT stood for. But yeah, right. I'm just going to go through it. Sweat out the night.
You're going to sweat it out. You're going to have the shakes.
Right.
You're going to have a real, tough go at it. You can't just lock yourself in a bunker. You're going to go into your gambling bunker.
Right. If you're concerned about being able to afford professional care, know that there are always options available. Many specialists in gambling addiction accept health insurance. Adding that a call to your insurer, for a list of in-network resources is a good place to start. Other gambling specialists who don't accept insurance may work on a sliding scale.
What about
gamble for? Yeah.
What about gambling for it?
Yeah, exactly. Let's throw some dice and see how much I'm going to have to pay you an hour. Just playing craps in the waiting room. It's funny. Craps is like the lowest of the low.
Yeah.
And also fancy.
I don't understand it.
I don't know. I don't either. But when people shoot dice in an alley, aren't they playing craps?
I guess.
Is that not?
I don't know.
Oh, no, I guess they're not because there isn't a whole board unless you get out your chalk and turn your what is it called? Hopscotch board into a craps table. I guess I got that completely wrong.
I love everything you're saying. I don't know. I know so little about any of the kind of things that people like. I could only ever do a slot machine where you pull the thing down to see if you get 3 cherries because.
Oh, you've never played blackjack?
No.
Oh, it's fun.
I mean,
you should do it. You should do it a lot.
I'm going to start now.
You should do it compulsively.
I'm going to go to Vegas with my 401k.
Okay.
And see how I think I can double it.
Yeah, why not? Double down. Okay. Other gambling specialists who do not accept sliding scale may be able to reduce the cost of their services in alignment with what you can afford. Join support groups and 12-step programs. Don't underestimate the power of community support. Finding a support group or attending a 12-step program can be critical to recovery. Connecting with others who struggle with an addiction, even if it isn't gambling addiction, helps us to know that we're not alone and that freedom from addiction is possible. This I found very interesting. If there's no Gamblers Anonymous meetings in your area, attending an Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous meeting that's open to other addictions can be just as helpful.
I mean, those are free.
Yeah.
And you'll meet a lot of really good friends.
Right. And maybe you'll hear other people's stories and you'll be like, well, at least I'm not a drunk asshole.
Yeah.
I've just drained my account.
I didn't drive my car into a kindergarten class.
Yeah. I just can't afford soup anymore.
Oh, I miss soup.
I miss soup. Oh, but to have some soup. Adjust as needed. Your path to recovery may need some calibrating as your needs change. It's important to continually reassess whether you are getting the right kind of help or if you need to change your treatment approach. For example, I see people, this is Dr. Huckman. For example, I see people start with support groups or addiction-related coaches, but over time recognize they need to address underlying issues.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready for a story?
Lay it on us.
All right. This might end in someone you're familiar with, but maybe not. Okay. So.
Intrigued.
I know. In 1975, Ted Ngoy, Ngoy, fled the Khmer Rouge with his wife and 3 children to Camp Pendleton.
Okay.
You know, we are in Cambodia. He is
a
Cambodian. I way shortened the story because it's extremely long. He was in the army. He fled the Khmer Rouge was a dictatorial mob,
They
dictatorship.
killed many people.
Yeah.
That's my...
Yes.
That extends the amount of my knowledge.
Right. So this is where we're starting. Ngoy secured work as a janitor. So he's now in California.
San Diego area, right? That's Camp Pendleton?
Tustin? Is Tustin near San Diego? Well, it says he secured work as a janitor with Peace Lutheran Church in Tustin, California.
Okay.
While working a second job at a gas station, Ngoy took notice of a busy local donut shop and inquired of its operators about learning the business. He subsequently received training through an affirmative action program to increase minority hiring within the Winchell's chain of donut shops. Say what you will about Winchell's. I know people badmouth Winchell's, but
I don't.
It's what I grew up on.
I don't badmouth Winchell's.
And managed a store in Newport Beach where he employed his wife and nephew. By 1977, he was able to purchase his first donut shop, Christie's Donuts in La Habra.
Oh my God, I love this story.
I know. It starts so great, right?
Yes.
Ngoy's fortunes improved dramatically, such that by the mid-1980s, Ngoy had amassed millions of dollars through his expanding donut shop empire.
Wow.
Reported as 50 locations throughout California.
What?
Mm-hmm. In 1985, Ngoy and his wife became American citizens, assuming the American names of Ted and Christy. I think Christy is named after the donut shop because the donut shop was already named Christie's. And so he then named all his donut shops Christie's.
Very cute.
But I guess then she took the American name. And were enjoying a lavish lifestyle, including $1 million home at Lake Mission Viejo, a vacation home in Big Bear, expensive cars, and vacations to Europe. Ngoy had become an example to other Cambodian immigrants who began to follow his business model for their own entrepreneurial endeavors. So basically what happened was he would sign documents and help other Cambodians come over and then kind of teach them. And now 90% of donut shops in California, I don't know if it's Los Angeles, I think in California, are owned by Cambodians.
Wow.
Because he started this whole thing.
That's
Yeah,
incredible.
It was really crazy. Ngoy also involved himself in American politics, joining the Republican Party and hosting fundraisers for George W. Bush, and encouraged fellow Cambodian immigrants to support the GOP.
I like that less.
Yeah.
But I guess good for you being an active citizen.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you come from Cambodia.
Yes.
And you're like, okay. Despite the wealth he had amassed and his importance within his community, Ngoy felt dissatisfied, remarking that he had no political life, no religious life, just work. In 1977, the Ngoys took a trip to Las Vegas where Ted saw Elvis Presley. It was here that Ngoy had his first taste of gambling while placing bets at the blackjack tables. Oh, no. It's not all donuts and
GOP.
Bush.
Yeah. It's not all donuts and Bush.
There's a shirt for you. Ngoy would make a habit of returning monthly to watch performers such as Tom Jones, Diana Ross, and Wayne Newton, and indulging in the incentives pit bosses of major casinos offered, all the while spending even larger sums at the card tables.
Oh.
Yep. This caused tension in the Ngoy household, being the center of many arguments between Ngoy and his wife. Ngoy would often visit Las Vegas for a period of a week, unbeknownst to his wife. He would forge her signature on checks and even borrow money from relatives who leased stores from him.
Oh, no.
Remember, this guy has millions of dollars.
Yes.
He, when he was unable to pay back his debt, he would sign over his store to them.
Oh, no.
Once a paragon in the community, refugees now avoided him for fear of being asked for a loan. Ngoy attempted Gamblers Anonymous, but denied it helped with his situation, stating that when he went to meetings, I cry, everybody cry, after cry, go back gambling. It's another good shirt.
I cry,
everybody cry, after cry, go back gambling. Ngoy's gambling had progressed from the card tables to placing bets on sports games with Cambodian bookies. After a particularly devastating gambling loss in 1990, Ngoy flew to Washington, D.C. and joined a Buddhist monastery where he spent a month meditating.
I mean, he's trying.
Following his time in the nation's capital, Ngoy spent time in a monastery in the Thai countryside where he spent his morning begging for alms. Now he's literally begging.
Oh, no. See, the gambling again.
How did this fucking happen? Upon his return to Orange County, Ngoy began gambling harder than ever, stating monks cannot help, Buddha cannot help. He says his Christian faith ultimately helped him abandon the habit. Good for you. Whatever works. after Cambodia's establishment of a constitutional monarchy, Ngoy and his wife returned to the country of the 1993 Cambodian general election. For the election. He formed the Free Development Republican Party, believing that he could show others the path to wealth and hoping that being a politician might stymie his gambling addiction. But then he lost and it fell apart. When his wife visited California for the birthday of their grandchild in 1999, Ngoy began an affair with a younger woman. Yeah, Christie divorced him soon and soon after, and has not returned to Cambodia. So basically, now he's like a businessman. I don't know how his fortunes are doing, but you can learn all about him in a 2020 documentary called The Donut King.
Ooh, I want to watch it.
So if you heard of that, that is this guy.
What an interesting story.
So I think it actually will be a really interesting story.
So as far as we know, he still lives in Cambodia?
No, I think
Or he's back here?
I can't remember now because I cut so much out of it. I think he came back. Or he might have gone back to Thailand. I'm not sure. I don't think he lives in Cambodia anymore.
It's so crazy. It's such a crazy story. And also, again, that sort of holds true that somebody who starts off like, it continuously has to get bigger for them to feel the thrill.
Yes.
With any kind of addiction, it feels like, I mean, maybe not cigarettes. I feel like it's with cigarettes. It's not like somebody's like, now I got to have 5 in my mouth,
Right.
But people do
but
tend
more
to
often,
smoke more often. Like whether it's, alcohol or drugs or sex or, murdering women. Mm-hmm. It's got to get bigger.
Yeah.
I got to do more.
Right. Well, it's not addressed in this. Maybe it's addressed in the movie. But obviously, there was some emptiness in him because he had all this success, was not only financially successful, which maybe some could say is hollow, but was such a paragon of the community and was like the American dream, right?
Yes.
He's an immigrant, comes from horrible circumstances. Yes. But maybe the terror of living under the Khmer Rouge, I know I'm saying it wrong.
No, I think you are saying it correctly.
Maybe all that was horribly devastating and it was never dealt with.
Maybe it's a trauma.
Yeah. So, and maybe there is something to money isn't everything. And
you can't fix what's broken with stuff.
I guess that's it for now. We'll be right back with our guest after this.
Yeah.
Fall is here, and if you want to sleep in the coziest bed imaginable, you have to start with Boll & Branch's best-selling 100% organic cotton sheets. You'll spend every night wrapped in buttery, breathable softness and feel your sheets get even softer with every wash. Discover the difference with Boll & Branch's 30-night guarantee. Plus, get 15% off and free shipping on your first set of sheets. Visit bollandbranch.com and use code WONDERY15. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Canva presents The Killer of Productivity. It was an ordinary workday until...
Oh no, this meeting... could have been an email.
Run. Canva had a creative solve.
Forget email. I'll just put the info the team needs in a Canva doc, and I'll make it visual with images, charts, and graphics.
Bring productivity killers to justice with creativity. Love your work at canva.com.
Welcome back to the show. You already know what you're listening to. Hey, Danielle.
Hey, Kristine.
How was your break?
Guess what? Once again, neither of us went to the bathroom.
Are we healed?
I think we're healed. I think we don't suffer from womendom anymore.
Maybe we're going into a new phase of being amazing.
Okay, that's how you look at it. Yeah.
That's how I'm going to look at it.
Our bladders are healed.
They're atrophying.
They're not even working at all.
No.
So, yeah. Okay.
They're just drying up. Like my eyeballs.
Everything else.
Yeah. I got to put eye drops in now.
How's that cataract thing going?
I guess it's just continuing to get worse.
But you don't see anything. You don't.
Correct. I'm going blind.
No, yeah, you're blind, right? You don't see anything.
Nope. I can't see you.
No, but you can't. There's no spots in front of your eyes or anything. You wouldn't know you had it.
No, I wouldn't have known if he wouldn't have said it and just wrecked my day.
Yeah, why didn't he just keep it to himself? Hey.
Yeah, what a
Stop
dick.
getting in my business, doctor.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I didn't want to know this information.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you.
I don't go to you for things like that.
Do you think I came here to find out how my eyes are doing?
Yeah.
I guess I did.
You did, I guess.
Technically, that is why.
By definition, that's why you went there.
You go to the eye doctor.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a leg to stand on or an eye to see out of.
I love it. Yeah, so my break was fine. I don't know what I did. I think I just let our guest in. Speaking of our guest,
Oh my God.
on the first half of our show, we talked about how to survive a gambling addiction.
Yes.
And now we're going to talk about how to survive being an extra in Casino
What?
with Elizabeth Beckwith.
Hello,
Yay!
What a joy. Thank you for having
Elizabeth
me.
is an old friend of mine from stand-up days, but she's really made a name for herself as a writer on The Goldbergs.
What?
Speechless.
Stop it.
And she has a book called Raising the Perfect Child Through Guilt and Humiliation.
Oh, I'm good at that.
Manipulation.
Manipulation.
Roll it back, Danielle.
Roll it back. I got it wrong.
We'll re-record
I
the
would
entire
never
episode.
humiliate my child. Only
Only
manipulate. That's healthy and good.
And you have 3 kids.
I have 3.
And what are their ages now?
17, 15, and 11.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm doing it.
That's
They're
wild.
fully formed
They are
humans.
fully
Yes.
formed.
Good job keeping them
Walking around.
alive for so long.
So is your 17-year-old a senior?
He's a senior.
Holy shit.
Yep. It's
So
happening.
you're ready to say goodbye.
Oh, no.
You're not ready. No.
I mean, I want him to fly. You know,
Yeah.
I hope I've given him wings and that he flies. But, like, also, he'll be, like, home at Christmas. Like, you know, I feel
Yeah.
like my
No.
daughters kind of frame it to him like, I get your room. And I'm like, he will come home. Like, it's not like when he goes to college, it's, see ya, it was so nice.
Sorry.
He's coming
We're
home
changing the
for
locks.
summer. And,
So has he, I don't know how it works. He hasn't already applied to college
no,
yet.
it's he's doing his applications now.
Right now. Okay.
Yes.
My son's a junior. Ugh. And it's already like, see, it already seems stressful about like trying to figure out
It's
all that shit.
everybody makes it so stressful. You try and be like totally zen about it,
Yeah.
and then
No.
you get 90 emails about like courses you should take
Right.
as a parent, you know, to
Right.
prepare you for the process, and it's
I
a
don't-
little scary.
I don't know if I talked about it on the show, but my son couldn't take as many AP classes this year as he wanted to because his schedule wouldn't permit. And the first week of school, he's walking down the hall, and his Spanish teacher from last year, who likes him, says, "Oh, senor." This is how he really talks. At least this is how Oliver says he talks. So take it with a grain of salt. "Oh, senor, let me look at your schedule." And he looked at his schedule and he goes, "Oh no, senor, this is terrible. This is trash. You must
This
take
is trash.
You must take more complicated courses." Like he's like, giving him guilt the first, just like your fucking eye doctor.
Yes.
Just giving him information. There's nothing he can do about. Then he found him at lunch the next day. "Oh, senor, you really need to talk to your counselor, senor." And he's like, "I don't know what to do." So it's extremely stressful.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
I
I
know.
think as long as you have you've proved that you've challenged yourself within the scope of like what you can handle with your extracurriculars. That's what's count.
Yeah, he doesn't
you
have
know.
any extracurriculars, so
Okay.
that's a problem. We're trying to build up the extracurriculars thing. I mean, unless you count playing board games with his mother every weekend, an extracurricular. But
President of the Board Game Association.
he is president of the Jeopardy Club at school.
Okay, that's
President and
huge.
founder.
Yeah.
So that's something.
Who is Oliver Pardo?
No, they just put each other in danger every
No,
week.
I just
No, it is a game show thing. So dumb. Well,
I liked it.
thanks. Yeah, he does things like that, and he's like in the school play this year, and
Oh my
he's
God,
doing
those are
stuff like that.
This is so many things.
Well, I guess I always think of extracurricular as you belong to 5 sports teams outside of
No,
school,
no.
and is your kid's probably an athlete, right?
he plays baseball.
Oh, he
Yes,
does.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, I remember pictures. Oh, they're so cute.
They're
your
sweet kids. They're sweet kids.
Like they look like you, but they're blonde, right?
Yes, thank you.
Right.
It's because they're blonde hair, blue eyed. I am none of those things. I know you can't see me at home.
Right.
I'm none of those things. And so whenever anyone says they look like me, I get so excited.
They're all very attractive children, very beautiful, and
What a relief.
I know. Thank God. I mean, I don't know if you raise them right through guilt and manipulation, but they are good looking, and that's all that matters.
Yes, thank you.
That'll get them further in
The book is more of an homage to how I was raised, and sort of like a little tip of the hat. And I wrote it like it's many when I only had 2 of one of them. They were like a toddler and a baby, and it was sort of like how will I
How
do
will
this?
you do this? Got
and
it.
reflections on how I was brought up. In
Okay.
big Italian Catholic family.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Olive oil business.
That's right, Danielle. You remember it well. One of my signature punchlines.
I was trying
back in the day.
I was trying to do it this morning because Oliver was like, "Wait, who's on your show?" And I said, "Elizabeth Beckwith." And I was like, the olive oil business.
right.
Anyway, she's very funny. So
Out of context punchlines.
But what I don't know about you is that you were, I didn't know you worked as an extra.
Oh my God! Well, when I was trying to get my SAG card back in the day when I was in college.
Okay.
So I was in college. I was in film school
In Las Vegas?
In Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
Going to Loyola Marymount.
Oh,
fine institution.
very close to us.
Yes, very close. And and I don't know how. I've heard it's a lot easier to get your SAG card now. I've heard rumblings, but back
You just slip a guy a 10.
is that
That's all it
10?
takes. Yeah, just a 10. $10.
Oh my God!
I know.
That is so easy.
You would think it would be
Why
a
did I
lot
try-
more.
Yeah.
Well, back then it was next to impossible, and one of the ways you could get it was if you worked as an extra. They had to hire a certain amount of union extras, and if they didn't have enough for the day, you could get bumped up. Which is
didn't know that.
Which is
I remember
very
this.
yes, it was very hard to do in Los Angeles because everyone's in the union.
Yeah.
But I would be home for summer or Christmas break, and I got in real good with the Las Vegas casting agent.
Oh, okay.
And I'd be an extra, and if they needed SAG people, she'd always bump me for the day, and that's how I ended up getting my SAG card, was doing that. And plus, I just
okay.
liked. I was in film school, I liked being on set. It was cool
yeah,
and
of course.
interesting to me. Oh yeah, I was in such. We have to City Slickers too. Oh baby, crowd scene.
There's women in City Slickers
well,
too?
in a big crowd going to a Siegfried and Roy show.
Oh, okay.
One of two. Vegas Vacation. I think I just stayed in my trailer, the extras trailer, and never really was called to say. And what was another? Oh, Fools Rush In.
Oh, I remember that one.
Matthew Perry
Yes.
and Salma Hayek.
I-
Another big crowd scene. I had to
I
wear a
remember
dress.
that. Oh, fun.
So whatever, and so I'd get bumped, and it was all fine, and make a little bit of money when you're a college student. And then one day, I got a call that I was certain was life changing.
Okay.
I was home for Christmas break. I'm it's either sophomore or junior year. I'm 19 or 20. A mere child.
Yeah.
And I get a call from my connection. And she's like, stop what you're doing because
Are you sitting down?
you free tomorrow? Because you've been asked to be not just an extra, and you know this, featured extra. Danielle knows featured extra.
Oh, wow.
It's one of two women in a movie called Casino, directed by Martin Scorsese,
Wow.
one of my heroes.
Right.
Yeah.
You're going to be, this was the name of my character, making quotes. Beautiful woman at table with Robert De Niro.
Holy
Which, first of all,
shit.
immediately I was like, my headshot's more attractive than I am, but whatever. They're bringing me in.
Holy
and I'm like,
shit.
oh my God, because and all these other, fools rush in nonsense.
Yeah, you're just a
you
crowd.
know, you're not. It's not really the direct. You're just sort of the, second team telling you what to do.
You're
whatever.
the
But
cattle
now-
in the back.
Cattle in the back, Kristine.
Right.
Now I'm going to be in an intimate scene.
my
Scorsese is going to be telling me pick up the water, put down,
Holy shit.
and I'm going to be by Robert De Niro. So I'm like, oh my God, my life's about to change.
Forever. Yes.
Clearly,
Someone
they're-
will see me. They'll put me in.
gonna
Now
see
I'll
how
get a
special I am.
featured role. Yeah.
Because Scorsese's going to see a nice young Italian American
Yeah.
girl. He's going to want to take me under his wing.
Of course.
Yes. He
He's gonna
does
put you in
love to help
everything.
women.
Listen,
known for
you
that.
gotta, or De Niro, I feel like,
Yes.
well, maybe, I'm not going to overstep it if he starts to banter with me.
Yes,
maybe
why
there'll
not?
be
Little improv.
someone's wing. I'm going on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Absolutely.
This is happening.
You're going to get your mentor.
Yes, there's only two of us, baby, and I'm one. Of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're one. You're right. You're a beautiful
I'm
woman.
a beautiful
one.
woman. I think so.
Let's just say for the story you were.
I was
one.
just told you are a beautiful woman at table.
Okay. great.
Okay.
I show up. I'm like, I and because it's a period piece.
Oh yeah.
And so I go to wardrobe. I'm doing different looks. Polaroids are being taken.
Oh my
Unbelievable.
God.
I'm 19 years old. This is I cannot
Star
believe
treatment.
it. It's only thing I can compare it to is like in Annie when she goes to Daddy Warbucks.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna like it. You know, it's like the green call girl dress. No, yellow. Like I'm dying. I go to makeup and I touch the microphone.
That's okay.
I swore not to.
You have to leave.
I apologize, everyone listening. I apologize to Danielle and Kristine.
That's okay.
Okay. I'm dying. So I'm in hair and makeup.
Wait, I'm sorry. Just one backup.
Yes.
It's what period? Because I don't
this
remember.
Is 1970s.
Great. Okay.
1970s Vegas, and I'm
awesome.
In addition to being a huge Scorsese fan,
yeah,
I'm obsessed with 70s Vegas because my family's from there.
Right.
We have all our great legendary stories are from that period.
Oh my God.
My dad worked in the casinos based on during that time.
Are you
like
serious?
I'm dying. I'm like, there's so much for me and
Oh,
Scorsese
wow.
to talk about once I'm under his wing. Like I'm gonna actually help him with this movie with my wealth of knowledge.
You're gonna be a consultant.
Consulting producer Elizabeth Beckwith / beautiful woman at the table. It's all happening. And so I'm sitting and makeup, waiting for last looks, as they call it in the biz.
Yeah.
And then I see these two other women walk in. And I'm like, well, I'm not a math major, but I can count to 3. And there's those 3 of us. But I'm looking at them and like, to me, it's like, they're not in hair and makeup yet. And to me, they look like 12. So I'm like, well, if you think you're getting this picture, girls.
Right.
And I'm literally a 19-year-old.
right. I'm a woman.
Yeah.
I am a woman.
Good luck,
Beautiful
children.
woman.
Yeah.
Then they're sort of whisked away to wardrobe, hair, makeup, and then they come out. Now they don't look like children anymore. And now I, as an aspiring filmmaker myself, can see, that's who I would put at the table. They look like more like call girlish, more like.
Is that what you were supposed to be? Were you supposed to be?
Not necessarily, but you can,
who knows? It left up for interpretation.
Yeah, just that kind of Vegas-y, hustler-y woman at bar. So I'm like, oh no, maybe there's 3 people now, but I'm not feeling great about this. I'm like, all of a sudden I'm having a very bad feeling.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, the second AD's walking toward me. And he's like, hey,
Oh, no, the voice.
Change of plans.
Oh, no.
I don't, you stay for today. We're going to pay you for today. We might use you for something, but you're not going to be in that scene. But we're going to use you tomorrow for sure. You'll be girl in line for ice cream. And it's not, and I'm like, okay, yeah, no, totally, totally. Yeah, that sounds good. And so now, but because
you're in hair and makeup.
I'm staying for I hit the microphone again.
That's okay.
Damn it. Because I'm staying for the day, I'm now in this holding area with all these other Vegas extra people. Like, what if City Slickers 2 all over again?
Right.
And
unfeatured extra.
Woof. And then there's a guy there. There's a lot of old timers who I think from that period who was like kind of like, oh, I'm going to be in this movie about people I know. And one of them was a guy like friend of the family.
When you say family, do you mean the mom?
No,
or do you mean
friend
your
of my
family?
dad. Friend of my dad. He was like a bartender at the Stardust when my dad worked there, and he had sort of witnessed the whole.
Oh.
And he shouts out
Oh, no.
in a comical fashion, "Hey kid, you want to be in this picture? You better go buy yourself some tits."
No.
Yes. And I laugh because I don't want to. I want to pretend I'm affable.
Oh.
And I'm just like, but he wasn't wrong. It would have helped. I think it would have helped.
I mean, he's shouting this.
He shouted, but it got a big laugh.
Oh, so other people definitely
heard.
witnessed this. And
other people witnessed.
laughed.
And so it was fine. And I actually love this guy. God bless his soul. But in the moment, I was dying. And then, the next day I'm in line for. It's not the scores. Scorsese's already. I'm like way in the distance.
Are you dressed as a child?
No, I'm just in a big coat. Standing outside. Love it. Frozen custard.
You didn't get to be in your 70s outfit.
It was a 70s coat.
70s coat.
No one can see. It's honestly, it's like a shot of Alan King in a car and like 50 yards through the window. It's like like what am I doing? And the worst part is, then you go see the movie. To this day, it haunts me because it's not just like one of the most iconic scenes of the movie. It's like one of the most iconic scenes in cinema. It's the scene. I didn't realize Pesci's in the scene too. It's the scene when Pesci stabs a guy in the neck with a pen. And there's two women. One of the women, by the way, when people walk in, is like, "Hi, nice to meet you," has a line. Might have been a looper. Couldn't see her. Maybe she didn't. But still, it appears as though she's speaking.
No.
And it's like this iconic scene in one of my now all-time favorite movies. And you could totally see them.
Yeah.
And to this day, it's like that could be me scurrying away as Pesci bludgeons a guy. That could be me.
You could have fake Pesci stabbing blood on your costume.
Yes. On my great 70s costume.
Are there pictures of you in this?
No, there's somewhere there's a Polaroid. I don't know what I did with it.
Man.
What a time.
So Did you? I have to ask you because I know what I would have done. Did you go home crying?
I don't think I went home crying that day.
I might go home crying just hearing the story.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. I feel like it was
it's really
so funny.
No, it's really funny.
Now I feel like I made it so sad.
No, it's not.
I debated do I share the part about the guy yelling the thing?
Oh yeah, that's great.
But it was like I was so humiliated and like it was so funny that like how big my dream was.
Right.
I'm being taken under wings. I'm going to help with the scenes because I know all the old stories.
Oh my God.
And now I'm just standing in line in a big coat,
because
freezing.
You know what Scorsese lacks is people who know the old stories.
I'm just kidding. I don't think I would have actually. But if he were to ask, I would have slipped in the covers. Oh, my dad worked here.
So is this a common thing that they call more people than they need for featured extras?
I fear that it was like they shook my Polaroids and Scorsese was like, what the hell is this child? It looks like she's playing dress up. Like, give me some strippers. And then like, you know what I mean? Like,
rougher looking.
So all of a sudden they were like whisked in like emergency, like a Hollywood emergency.
But they also, I think they double booked a little bit.
Get me some strippers.
My God, this child. You
do still look. I mean, I'm not just saying this. You really haven't aged since the last time I see you. Like, I don't understand how that's happened. But so you do look very young for your age. Anyway, so I can imagine at 19, you probably didn't look like va-va-voom 25-year-old. You probably looked young.
I was young.
Oh, sweetie
yeah. It's okay. Listen.
Amazing. And then you go and see the movie. And are you hoping to see yourself in that line?
I mean, I didn't really care. Not that but it wasn't the. It was. I knew I wasn't gonna. Like I could tell the way the camera was positioned. Like it's like if I see me, wow. Right. Like you could kind of see the outline of a big hair situation, a silhouette of big hair in the deep background. If you're really looking, and know that someone's standing there. My God. And I think maybe that was me.
Wow.
But you know what? We got a great story.
It's such a good story.
If you would have gotten the part, it wouldn't have been a funny story.
That's right. I'd be too busy running Hollywood.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, we do know that the woman who did get the part is running Hollywood.
Yeah.
We looked it up ahead of time and we researched it. And she's in charge of Warner Brothers, I think.
Is it Carol Lombardi?
Yeah. It's Carol Lombardi.
It's Carol Lombardi who got that actual role. And now
you think she'd have more empathy for the people behind, on the other side of the screen.
I think once Joe Pesci's fake blood splashes across you, it really lowers your empathy.
Well, this business is nothing if not full of humiliations on the daily.
Oh my God. So many. I mean, even when I had, roles as day players later in Los Angeles.
Right.
I mean, many. I just cringe at memories of myself. I was in a little movie called Coyote Ugly.
Oh, were you?
Day player. Yes, I played a receptionist. I'm one of the people who rejects Piper Parabo.
Okay. I've never seen the movie, I have to admit.
It's on 9 times a day.
Right.
Constantly.
So you get residuals.
I still get residual. And that was another one, like, it sounds so silly. They were so nice. Everyone was so nice. But, like, you often when you show up to set, like, lines have changed and things have changed. And no big deal, part of the gig. But one of the things that changed in that movie, like originally it had said this receptionist like kind of like reading a magazine, like casually, like not paying attention, like being very dismissive of this woman. And then when I showed up that day, it had changed from reading a magazine to filing her nails.
Okay.
Well, you might think, what's the big whoop, Liz? Make an adjustment. But I don't file my, like, I don't know how to do that.
Oh, wow.
Like, if I'd known a couple days before, I would have taken a class. You know? Because I'm very prepared, always prepared. Always prepared.
Never filed your nails?
I mean, not really. And then I'm sitting there thinking, you know, Dennis Hopper once said, you know, if you're like about smoking on camera, if you're really smoking, you're smoking. You don't have to act it. Well, then if you're really filing, you're filing. So as long as I'm filing, I'm filing. If I'm successfully shortening my nails, it's working, and I'm just gonna do it. And, and so I go, you know, it's time to roll. We start the scene. I'm doing what I believe to be filing. We're not very deep into the scene, and the director calls. God, what is that? What are you doing? Because I don't understand what you're doing. And I was like, I'm filing my nails, and you know, to be honest, like it's not, had I known, I think I said I would have like taken a class. It's not the thing like I've done. Did it not look right? He's like, just do it again. Just like be more, like 9 people from makeup come over try and teach me. Okay. I'm sweating through my costume.
Biting your fingers?
No, I was just so clenched, you know, and they all come over trying to teach me. So I was like, okay, I think I got it. We start rolling again. Cut! Could you just not make your hand look like such a claw? Because I'm like, so you can't, I can't see, my hand is completely clenched right now. And so now I'm like, I'm so nervous. I cannot believe I'm like, this is the nightmare. I'm like the day player, like ruining the day because I can't.
Costing everyone money.
I am sweating through my costume. Because I'm so OCD, like I have everything prepared, everything perfect. Like I'm such a pleaser. I want to do it perfect, and this is my worst nightmare. So now we do it again. Like I finally like get it, I guess, to where it's like acceptable.
Looks like a human being doing a human being activity.
If you do see me in this, know that whatever lines I'm saying, the subtext is, does my hand look like a claw right now? Does my hand look like a claw? Does this look unnatural? Does this look unnatural? Does this, like I couldn't even like I was so focused on this like physical, like you might as well have had to teach me like very hard choreography.
It's hysterical. It's hysterical.
And I was like, I left that day feeling like so bad. Everyone was so nice. It wasn't like, but I was like, I cannot believe.
I'm so stressed just hearing these.
I know.
Stories,
oh my God.
just having flashbacks.
Yeah. Just so much empathy pouring out to past you.
That's amazing.
I survived.
You did.
Oh, I didn't even mean that as a pun. I'm a survivor.
Nice.
Lizzie, thank you so much for coming on. This was fantastic.
Yeah,
I
you were
had such
great.
a time. I hope you had a time.
Oh, no, we had a time. It was a great time.
Did my hand look like a claw? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
You
guys
should
are
tell the
the
audience
best.
her hands are claws.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She has talons, and
Yeah.
that's probably why she never filed them before, because that would, you know, I mean, you want to sharpen them,
You
but
want
not dull
talents
them.
to be as sharp as possible.
Yeah,
for attack.
yeah.
You guys, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
What
thanks
a
for
joy.
coming.
Yeah, and we will be right back with What Did We Learn Today?
Make this new school year an opportunity for your kids to learn important life skills with Greenlight. Greenlight is a debit card and money app for families where kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely while parents keep an eye on kids' money habits. Greenlight also helps families get into their fall routine with a chores feature that lets parents assign chores and pay kids' allowance when they check them off. Get your first month free at greenlight.com/Wondery. Greenlight.com/Wondery.
This episode is sponsored by AutoTrader. There's a good chance you're driving right now. Look around. Safely. What do you see? Cars. Lots of them. And guess what? They're probably on AutoTrader. Whether you're into timeless classics or the latest trends. Did somebody say solar-powered, eco-friendly, vegan, leather-wrapped, aromatherapy-scented, disco ball-equipped, self-driving car? If you see it on the road, you can likely find it on AutoTrader. Big cars, small cars, blue cars, new cars, used cars, electric cars, and one day, maybe even flying cars. With millions to choose from, buying a car becomes a whole lot easier. See it, find it, AutoTrader. Find your next car on autotrader.com.
Danielle,
Kristine.
want to learn some stuff?
Yeah, you mean like what we learned?
Today.
Great.
Don't gamble with gambling.
Yes, good point.
It's a good PSA. Nationwide prohibition lasted from 1920 until 1933. The 18th Amendment, which illegalized the manufacture, transportation, and sale of alcohol, was passed by the U.S. Congress in 1917. Thrill seeker, irritable, frequent failures, obsessed, upset, lying, need money. You may be a gambling addict. Cerelax can help.
Cerelax?
I just made that up. But there should be a drug that can take take to make you stop.
But then it causes you to binge drink.
Exactly.
Right.
Problematic gambling has been suggested to be a possible consequence of dopaminergic. Dopaminergic, thank you.
Maybe.
Medications used mainly in neurological conditions, i.e. pramipexole and ropinirole, and possibly by one antipsychotic compound or another one.
Now I see what they're saying. It affects your dopamine. It releases dopamine, which, right? Is that what they're saying? Is also what you get when you do something that gives you a high.
Yes.
Like gambling. But I don't know why gambling specifically. It's so strange. Okay, anyway, that's fascinating.
It's really interesting. If you feel you have a gambling problem, do not be afraid. Okay, thanks. It says Adair's.
Yeah, I don't know.
To reach out to a loved one or a gambling addiction organization to help. But maybe don't reach out to the person whose money you spent.
Yeah.
Delirium tremens, also called DTs, alcohol withdrawal delirium, are severe alcohol withdrawal symptoms such as shaking, confusion, and hallucinations. Delirium tremens usually start 2 to 5 days after the last drink, and it can be fatal.
Huh.
You can die from it.
Yeah. That's heavy.
And I just made a big effing joke about it.
Yeah, you jerk.
What a dick. Send me your letters. Craps is a dice game in which players bet on the outcomes of the roll of a pair of dice. Players can wager money against each other, playing street craps, or against a bank, casino craps.
Okay, so they are both craps. They're just different. Okay.
Street craps requires little equipment.
That was your name in high school, right?
Oh, yeah.
Street
craps and sweet bottoms can be played in informal settings like a back alley in an old film noir movie. Nice, Karen. Why is it called craps?
I'm sure it's like a French word, that translates or something. I mean, I'm guessing.
Okay. I like to, on his What We Learned, ask additional questions. So it's like a What We Learned learned.
That's a really good point.
So I have the craps information.
Yes.
It was, craps was invented as a spin-off of the French word crapade,
which means
toad.
To take a shit.
No, it means toad, in reference to the original style of play by people crouched over a floor or sidewalk.
Oh, that's fascinating. I love that kind of stuff.
Oh, my God, I love it.
Oh, I love it.
You were right. It's French. It is from the French.
Because it just made me think of like Baccarat and like Monaco and, where they gamble. I don't know.
They don't have addiction there. They always gamble responsibly in France.
Yes.
They know what they're doing.
Also, I wanted to add one thing.
Yes.
That I didn't get to, which is that, remember when I said that it was like 2 million people who had serious gambling addictions, and we were like, that's a lot. What I forgot to mention was that the online poker stuff, all the apps and stuff has greatly increased gambling addiction, and there were a lot of stories like that. I thought the Donut King thing was interesting, so I went with that one. But so yeah, that's probably why there are so many. So you don't have to be in a city that has legal gambling, right?
Oh, right. You know what? You can get a gambling addiction from the comfort of your own home.
Yes.
That's wonderful. So even if there's another pandemic, we can all just gamble.
Right. And there were the stories of people just like, in 15 minutes, winning $25,000 and then losing it in like 10 minutes because it's just this addictive. And it's like playing a video game, like on your phone, you're not even thinking it's real maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's why.
Well, that was really fascinating, Danielle. I hope you all enjoyed listening.
Yeah.
And thank you for supporting us.
Yes, thank you so much.
To our patrons. We're going to list some of your names soon, probably next week.
Great.
And until next time,
remain calm.